Hey guys, it's BW and we're back out in the garage. In this week's video, we're going to work on getting our Scat Procar bucket seats installed into the car. I think we want to make our own brackets for the seats. I looked online and everything you see, you're going to have to modify anyway, and I think we have enough scrap laying around the shop that we can make our own. So why don't you stick around and check it out. Okay guys, well let me pull you off the tripod and show you what I'm thinking. All right. So the first thing you ought to know is I went ahead and bolted the tracks onto the passenger side just to see where we're at. And the floor for the car is a little, uneven. This is where the bench seats would have bolted in right down here. And you can see how it jumps up over here. So it's a little topsy-turvy, but I kind of shimmed things around and looked at it. And I can tell you already, it's going to be too high after we make our seat brackets. So the first thing I want to do is I want to cut off two of these high right here. I only want to leave the third one. Then we'll get them back onto the chair, and then I want to measure and we'll go about making our seat brackets to the things we want to weld to. Okay, so why don't you let me get this set up. Okay guys, well we trimmed down the pieces like we talked about on all the tracks. Now let's work on getting them bolted onto the seat, and then we'll take some preliminary measurements and start making some brackets. Okay, well see, like I said, there was only what I thought 6 bolts, what turned out to be 7 because one was stuck in the track. But I went to the store and bought 2, so we got 1 extra bolt now, but they're different. The ones I bought have a 13 head. The ones that came with the chairs have 12 or 12 millimeter. Hopefully this will still slide past there. I think it will. Gotta switch the socket back to 12. Send this one home. Alright, that's good. I'll just slide this up some. Pick like the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That's 9. Alright, so they're pretty much in the it evened out. And then I just want to put this wire across. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to put it in here. I guess this way. Alright, put it in there. And then we're just going to go, I found it on the other chair, it worked the best with this first one. So let me get the needle nose. We'll fish this wire into, it comes with 2 holes here, but you want enough leverage to where it opens both, so both tracks slide. And like I said, I messed around with the passenger side and discovered that it was easier on the first hole. You want the wire taut before you even push on the lever, so that you make sure you engage both of the tracks. There we go. The factory bend they give you is a little too tight, you can see. So let's straighten that out. Alright. So measuring, let's get right about there. Alright. A little better. let it mow better. All right, there you go. All right, if I pull this, both pieces come out and the tracks will slide. See, let me bring you over and show you what it means up close. You pull on the lever, it comes out of the track. Pull on the lever, comes out on the track. Good. So that's what we got. And as you can see, I did the same thing on this one. Right there, it's out of the track. Out of the track. All right, so that's all there is to that. Now what we want to do is take some preliminary measurements. All right, so if I came from the inside of, make sure that I'm showing you. If I come from the inside of here to here, getting 15 and I guess that's 3/8 there. This one's 15 and 3/8. This one is 15 and a quarter. And this one's 15 and a quarter. So if I make them all about 15 and a quarter, you know, obviously when you tighten down on the bolts, they'll bend in a little bit. So between 15 and a quarter and 15 and 3/8. I feel like I'll get some, I think I have round stock over there. Let's look and see what I got. Yeah, there's some round stock down there. Right there. I got flat bar there. So I think I'm gonna make them out of flat bar and round stock. All right, and we'll take the round stock and we'll drill and tap the ends to bolt them into here. So let me get set up, get some pieces cut, and let's see what we come up with. All right, got the round stock cut. I'll show you what's going on here. I just want to get eyeball center to center. It's 15 and a half. All right, double check it over here without the rods on it. 15 and a half. So now I want to cut a couple pieces of flat stock and I want to weld them from here to here and here to here. And I want to drill and tap the holes in the end of this round rod. All right, so give me a few minutes and I'll be right back. All right, guys, well, about an hour and 15 minutes later, we have a couple seat brackets. They've cooled off. I will tell you, when you drill and tap the ends, I suggest you do it after you've welded, because if not, you'll distort the holes and you'll end up chasing them all again. I learned my lesson on the first one. I actually already know better, but it is what it is. We got 2 seat brackets and we have the holes drilled and tapped in the end. Now we're gonna put these on. We're gonna worry about painting these later, and we'll also paint these exposed metal pieces where we lost our powder coating when we had to cut them down. But for right now, we need to get these bolted on, and then we'll know where we're at. All right, so let me get the bolts started, squeeze them up. Maybe tap it around a little bit, but it looks like pretty gosh darn good to me. Let me get it in the car. Okay guys, I got the chair just sitting in the car. I clamped a piece of 2x4 in the back here just to kind of rest it. And I got it resting on some plates here in the front. And the cross pieces of flat bar I have are resting on the floor. Okay, so I feel like we're in a good place to go ahead and make the 2 brackets on this side. And then we're also, I think we're going to be pretty good to make a bracket for the inside. Where it's resting on the floor isn't terrible, so I might be able to make a fancy foot for that. And this front bar, I can just make a shim pack, and there's only sheet metal here. I mean, you have a brace here that we're going to hook into, you have a brace here we're going to hook into, and the back corner there we're going to drill all the way through the base of the floor brace. It goes all the way over. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it does. And so this is the front right is the only one that's not going to be like that, but I'll be able, I think I'm just going to tack a piece of 1/4 inch on the top or on the bottom of it, and we'll come up with something there. But what I want to do first is get these 3 feet made, and then we'll decide how we're going to make that front right foot. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but I got the chair in a pretty good spot. Okay, so you can see that the chair is right in front of the pillar right now. It's in the middle on the track. It will slide back another 3.5 inches, and that'll land this chair right even with the post, which is cool for anybody that, I'm 6 feet, and right here where it's at right now, I'll show you in a second, it's pretty gosh darn good for me. I even temporarily put the shifter back in. I may want to shorten that, I'm not sure yet, but it's pretty good for now. And I got in the car, and right where the chair is, it's really good. I mean, you guys know that my column is tilt, so we can, you know, tilt this wheel to get up in there, and once we're in and we tilt it back down, it's a really comfortable spot. So I'm happy with that. Oh, by the way, look at this, guys. I'm working with the doors open. It's January, and I'm working with the doors open in my shop. you come over here, it's January 2nd, and it's 60 degrees, and I got the doors open. Tomorrow, it's supposed to have a severe temperature drop, and we're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of snow. That's Pennsylvania. All right, so let me get inside the car and show you guys what it looks like and how my body fits in there. That's the main thing, to be comfortable. All right, guys, well, you can see, I hope you can see, I got some good headroom here where my head's not crushed up against the roof. We have to allow, we know that there's going to be bows in here, and we're going to have our headliner. So I feel like, you know, we're as close to the floor as we're going to be able to get, really. Like I said, the front right's touching on the track piece, so it is what it is. I feel like, you know, this is a good distance for me. You got to remember that this seat does go back this way, and then there's a track in the front that it'll go back, and like I said, another 3.5 inches to where the back of the seat is right even with the post, and that's probably where the roll bar is going to end up. So this is probably the best spot for my chair in the car. And like all I did was eyeball, I'm centered up on with the chair to the center of the steering wheel, and I'm using these stamped lines in our floor to kind of even me out that way. And you know, whenever I get this all marked out and we make our feet, bolt it down, I'll be able to take the chair off and I can level the track up perfectly. That's my plan. I'm sticking to it. Like I said, you can see that the shifter is real good. There's first, second. I'll try again. I already missed a gear and it ain't even running yet. First, second, third, fourth. And you got your 5th gear right there to get them RPMs down. And over and down is for reverse. All right, so that's where we're at. The car, like I said, the chair feels really comfortable. Okay, guys, I figured this is a good time to bring you in. It's the next day. I got wrapped up doing something last night, so here we are. It's the next night, and it's Pennsylvania weather. If you can look behind us, the heater's running because it's 30 degrees outside. It was 60 yesterday, guys. Now it's 30, but don't worry. It's 75 in the shop. We got it nice and warm. But I'm fabricating. You can see like the weld smoke on the, bring you over here and show you what's going on. You can see a little bit of weld smoke here and there because I'm building these brackets as they sit. And this one, you guys can see, it's still a little warm, but it's not too hot. You know, this one looks kind of goofy. I got this gusset coming out, and I got this foot coming down because this one actually hangs out right right there, like that, all right? And so that, you know, the chair will bite real good and nobody will sag it or anything. It won't sag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt this down. I'm going to bring the seat over. I'm going to tack the frame of the chair to these two brackets here, and then I can pull the chair off of the bracket and we can build the two front brackets without the chair in the way, if that makes sense. But that's the direction I'm heading. I feel like I got to get the driver's seat in, and then I'll build the passenger seat to match it so that it's level across and everything's the same. But let's start with getting these brackets on real quick. Guys, well, now I think I can bring you back in real quick and just show you. I just put a couple tacks on there. Okay, I just got a tack there and I got it tacked there. So what I can do now is, you know, we can unbolt the seat and unbolt the bracket, completely weld these out to the bracket we built the other day, okay, and then bolt it back down, and then we can work on building the inner support screw downs, okay? But we were, you know, the reason I built these like this, I wanted to use these factory holes. I'm not using these outside ones, obviously, but I wanted to at least catch two of them because, you know, from the manufacturer, or in this case, our new floor, but the stock ones were the same. I figured I'd show you guys real quick. There's a brace bracket under here that goes into this floor brace and into this floor brace. So by catching this, man, that gives it a little extra strength. Now for the inside back bolt, I don't know if you guys can see under here, I'm going to be able to come through, probably not on this hole, but I'm going to be able to come through the support brace of the floor. But for the front, there is nothing. There's just floor. So I'll probably get a piece of flat bar or square stock or angle iron, just to, you know, or even just a square piece of plate so that I grab a larger area of sheet metal, just so it's stronger. But, you know, 3 of the 4 bolts are going to be into the floor joist or this bracing, the factory bracing, and I kind of like that. All right, so that's why I'm building these this way. I don't know if I'm not doing it the way somebody else would do it, but, you know, this is what I'm coming up with, okay? So let me set the camera up. I want to get up inside. Well, I mean, 2's enough to at least get inside the car and just verify the seat's where I want it, and then I'll be able to slide the chair the whole way back and then the whole way forward with the track, just to make sure things are the way we like. All right, guys, well, we're back into the car, and it feels pretty gosh darn good, you know. It's not a whole lot of play. There's maybe the tiniest bit, but I don't really think so. The chair goes straight back, straight up. Kim and I were already talking. We don't know if we're going to get a back seat yet or not. We're thinking about it. We'll see what happens. But anyway, let me see how the chair, when it slid the whole way back. All right, so somebody that is like bigger, a lot bigger, you know, could get in here and theoretically drive it. Look at the leg room. I mean, I'm 6 feet tall. I don't know if you guys can see this. My legs are fully extended, so I feel like that's pretty good. And, you know, you can come all the way up, take it all the way forward. For somebody that's of smaller stature, can be all the way forward. So I feel like we got the chair in a really good spot. I feel like the brackets are nice and strong. So we're gonna roll with this. We're gonna go ahead and go with this. So let me get the chair unbolted and get it off of the bracket. Then I gotta work on welding these two brackets out, and then I'll try to come up with something to fab these inside too. I don't know how far I'll get tonight because it's a work night, so I just, a little bit every night would be all right. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but my chairs are going to be good and strong. All right, so give me some time here and I'll bring you guys back in. All right, guys, well, there's our seat bracket all fabbed up and ready to go. I'm going to leave it bolted into the car for right now because we're going to mimic exactly on the other side what we did on this side. All right, and after both sides are fabbed up, bolted in, and the seats are even and level across, then we'll pull them out and paint them, and we'll set them aside until we treat this floor. But at least we know we got a seat bracket here. I'm going to go ahead and throw the chair back in for now because I'm going to need it in there when I'm lining up the other side. So give me a minute and let me get this chair put back. All right, guys, well, as you can see, the chair, it fell right back in and we bolted it up. Look at this, the whole car shakes. That chair is in there tight. Let me get up inside and let's make sure nothing moved around and everything's nice and comfortable like it was. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very nice. All right, so I'm at the mid range on this seat and I'm comfortable. I'm looking straight ahead. My nose and my eyes are right even with my steering wheel and my gauge cluster, right where I think I want to be. I got a ton of space here because we know we're going to have our bows coming across, so we got to be careful that our head ain't up into the top of the roof of the car. So we're good and comfortable. We're as low as we can possibly get. Now if we had invited somebody that's a larger stature person, they're going to be able to drive this car no problem. I cannot even put the clutch all the way down. I'm 6 feet tall. So if I got somebody, I'd say 6'4", this would be perfect for them to drive the car, okay, in this position. And a person of short stature all the way up here, you can see they're not going to have any issue with it, okay? But like I said, I'm comfortable right out there at the mid-level, real good. My shifter's real handy. It's right there, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. All right, we're good to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mimic the exact same thing I did on the driver's side to the passenger side because we know it works. The height of the bracket, maybe it's a hair different. I don't know if the floor is perfect or the chairs are perfect, but when I set a level across these chairs, it's going to be level going across. It's going to be read whatever the car reads, okay? So we're happy with it. And after we get the other bracket built, I'll show you the other bracket, I guess, at the beginning of the next video. But our next video, we're going to go right into the trunk area because we want to build a bracket for the fuel cell and the battery. We have to get all welding and drilling done on this floor so that we can treat it with the Raptor liner, okay? So after I show you this bracket on the other side, and then I'll just show it to you real quick in the next video. It's going to be the same as this one, just to show you it's done. I show you guys everything. And after that, we'll pull the brackets off, spray paint them, put the chairs back down in the basement for safety. And then once we get all the welding done that we're going to do on this floor, then we're going to treat it with the Raptor liner. And after we do that, sound deadener goes in, and I think we're going to invite our friend over and start wiring. So things are starting to move. Maybe not as fast as I'd like, and certainly not some of you, but the car is going in the right direction. I absolutely love it. I love the way it's going. Everything looks good, and I hope you guys think so too. All right, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, okay? I could sure use the support, all right? Join the party. All right, till next time, take care, everybody.